In this video, let's take a closer look at Lightning McQueen's backstory from the Cars movies. I think it's really interesting to understand what he went through before the first film even started. First off, Lightning McQueen's full name is actually Montgomery McQueen. From a very young age, he was totally into racing. He loved everything about it, so he decided to join a racing academy where he could train and learn how to be a professional racer someday. Now, here's something cool that a lot of people might not know. In the movies, we often see Lightning as a bit of a loner, someone who doesn't really make friends easily and prefers to be on his own.
I mean, taking the race by a full lap? Where's the entertainment in that? No, I wanted to give the folks a little sizzle.
Sizzle?
And am I sure I don't have a crew chief? No, I'm not, because I'm a one-man show.
What? Oh, yeah.
But his backstory gives us the reason why. While he was at the racing academy, he actually did have a friend named Carl. They were really close and raced alongside each other, and honestly, they were considered pretty good friends. They both had big dreams, especially when they reached the final race at the academy. This race was super important because whoever won would get a sponsorship, which meant a chance to compete in the big Piston Cup races. Both Lightning and Carl were really excited and ready to give it their all. However, things took a turn. Right before the race, Carl told Lightning that his lug nuts were loose and needed to be tightened for safety. But instead of fixing them, Carl actually loosened the lug nuts even more on purpose. His plan was to sabotage Lightning's chances of winning. During the race, because of the loose lug nuts, Lightning lost. Carl ended up winning the sponsorship and got the opportunity to race professionally, while Lightning was left empty-handed. It was a huge betrayal because Carl was someone Lightning trusted, and this incident crushed him. This experience explains a lot about why he became so distant and preferred to work alone later on. He didn't want to get close to other cars anymore after being betrayed by someone he trusted the most. But in a way, this betrayal also pushed him to work even harder. Lightning started training relentlessly, pushing himself to become faster and better. Eventually, his speed was so impressive that he earned the nickname Lightning McQueen. After losing that first big sponsorship, he didn't give up. He managed to land a deal with a company called Smell Swell Deodorizer. Now, this wasn't exactly the most glamorous or prestigious sponsorship you could get. In fact, it was pretty low budget, which made things really tough for Lightning. Because the company didn't have much money to spend, even getting to the races was a challenge. His transportation wasn't the best. The truck that was supposed to take him to the tracks wasn't very comfortable or reliable. This meant that during these long trips, he often had to stay awake all night, which made him super tired and less ready to race when he arrived. Despite these struggles, Lightning still kept his eyes on the prize, the Piston Cup. He was determined to make it there, one way or another. But eventually, things didn't go well with the Smell Swell sponsorship, and he lost it. That could have been the end of his dreams, but that's when another opportunity showed up. He was invited to join a new sponsor, Rusty's. The one thing about Rusty's is that it was known for supporting older rusty cars, which Lightning wasn't too thrilled about at first because he didn't really like the idea of being connected to something rusty, and he wasn't sure if it was the right fit for him. But in the end, the chance to finally race in the Piston Cup was too good to pass up, so he decided to take the chance. All of this was made possible thanks to Mac, the big red transport truck that we see in the movies. Mac became Lightning's reliable ride, taking him to races across the country and making sure he could focus on racing instead of worrying about transportation. So, with Rusty's as his sponsor and Mac as his transporter, Lightning McQueen made his debut in the Piston Cup, the one we see in the first film. This is where his real journey as a professional race car truly begins.